Hello, children. A big warm welcome to Ammu and you. As you all know, that we are doing the epic Mahabharata. It's such a fascinating epic. And by the comments that I get from you, I can see how much you all are enjoying hearing this beautiful story. I'm doing this epic in a compressed form. Otherwise, narrating all the stories is just not possible. It will take infinite weeks to finish. So I have compressed the story and I'm trying to do the whole thing in 8 weeks. Today is the 7th week. Till last week, we have done when the Pandavas, after the exile of 12 years and 1 year of Agyatwas, returned to Hastinapur to claim their kingdom back. But Duryodhan refuses. He puts his foot down, saying that they have to fight to get back the kingdom. Everyone tries to convince Duryodhan, but he is adamant. And at the end, the Pandavas very, very unwillingly have to agree to the war. Now, knowing the imminent war, Kunti gets very upset because she remembers her eldest son Karna that she had from the sun god before her marriage. She goes to Karna and requests him to take sides of the Pandavas in the war because she says that Karna is indeed the eldest of the Pandavas. Karna smiles and speaks respectfully to Kunti, reminding her that she had never claimed publicly him being her son, whereas Duryodhan had always supported him and helped him in all these years. So his loyalty towards Duryodhan was very strong, which he was not ready to let go of. He promises to her, though, that he will not kill any of the Pandavas except Arjun. And when they have a fight, one of them will remain alive. And so Kunti will be called always the mother of 5 sons. Kunti tries her best to convince him, but fails to do so. And so, with a very sad heart and tears in her eyes, she leaves and goes back home. The preparations of the war begin. Both the parties, Pandavas and the Kauravas, start finding out who all are supporting who, which kingdom, which king is supporting the Pandavas and who are supporting the Kauravas. They want to make an army accordingly. Sri Krishna also is there, and Duryodhan goes to Bhishma Pitama to speak about the war. Bhishma Pitama makes it very clear to him, saying, Duryodhan, I am very fond of the Pandavas because they have always been very fair and honorable, whereas you have been very unfair and evil. But I am bound with my vow to the kingdom of Hastinapur. So by default, I have to take your side. But let me be very clear. I will not kill any of the Pandavas. If you agree to this condition, I will be there on the battlefield. Duryodhan has no choice. He agrees to the condition. Sri Krishna sits with the Pandavas and the Kauravas and all the seniors there to lay down the rules of the war. The first rule, the war will end every day at sunset. The second rule, no unarmed person will ever be attacked. The third, if a person decides to surrender, accepts defeat, he will not be attacked. Fourth, person carrying essential services like carrying food, medicines, etc., will not be attacked. And the tents where the injured would be staying will not be attacked. And no one will attack anyone below the waist. Laying the rules, the next day the war of Mahabharata began in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Both the sides were there with their huge armies. Arjun was there on his chariot. He had asked for Sri Krishna's blessings, and Sri Krishna had offered to be his charioteer, whereas he had offered whole of his army of Dwarka to aid the Kauravas. Arjun saw in front of him all familiar faces, his loved ones, his family, his cousins, his uncles, his teachers, his gurus, his fellow men. And he was overwhelmed that how could he kill these people? How could he fight his own ones? He simply broke down, saying, Krishna, I can't fight them. I just can't fight them. Sri Krishna then explained to him that why he should fight. And this explanation, children, is called the Teachings of Bhagavad-Gita, where Sri Krishna tells Arjun that Arjun, we all come on this earth with a purpose. We all come here according to our karmas, the good karma and the bad karma. As we sow, so we reap. No one can change this. And here, when we come, we cannot run away from our duties. We should not run away from our duties. You, as a Pandav, are bound to fight for the honor of the Pandavas. You just cannot let your emotions overrule you and stray you away from performing your duty. As far as killing your loved ones, everyone has to die, and everyone's death is pre-decided by me. Who is this me? Sri Krishna. Because I am the Lord of the universe. Everything has been decided. You are simply a facilitator who has been given the opportunity to perform your duty. That holds true with everyone on this earth. So, you should not feel that you have killed someone. I am here to assist you and show you the right path. Now Arjun realized that Krishna was someone much more and beyond his imagination. He fell on the ground, bowed in front of him, and requested him that, Lord, please give me a glimpse of your true self. Krishna changed and showed his Virat Roop, Virat Swaroop. All the gods were there, all the weapons, so many hands, and he was beyond huge. Everything and everyone was dwarfed. Seeing him, Arjun realized that whatever Sri Krishna said had to be followed. So the war began, and children, look, the second day of the war, the armies have formed their own strategies and they are ready to fight a fierce battle. Bhim was very strong and he was great at his club fighting. He was known for that no one can defeat Bhim with his club. And he was playing havoc on the soldiers of the Kauravas. Anybody in front of him, he was just finishing him off by his club. The third day also, the Pandavas just rode ahead, marched ahead on the battlefield. And the Kauravas were forced to flee. The soldiers were forced to flee. They couldn't stand the brave army of the Pandavas. Everyone was running helter-skelter when Ghatotkach, son of Bhim, huge giant, came roaring in onto the battlefield, crushing thousands under his step, crushing them in his hands, and killing so many with his every step on the ground. Everyone started screaming and running away. No one could stand Ghatotkach. And this is how the battle kept on happening day after day. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And it kept on going. Every day, more and more soldiers of the Kauravas were being killed. The Pandavas could not be touched. Duryodhan was getting very angry and impatient, saying that we have such a huge army. How is that we couldn't even touch one of the Pandavas? The brothers? All he was interested in killing the 5 brothers, and he knew that the army would be destroyed in no time once these 5 were killed. But no one could touch them. He was getting restless, impatient, and he was shouting at Dronacharya and Bhishma. He went to him and said, "You had said you will not kill the Pandavas, but what are you doing? You're not even fighting them. You're not even facing them." Bhishma said, "Don't cross your limits, Duryodhan. How dare you shout at me like this? I am doing my best. The Pandavas are brave and they have a brave army. But I promise to do something again tomorrow." And thus he started. The next day, he went to the battlefield and challenged Arjun. Now, Arjun, children, I said, was being assisted by Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna could foresee things. He had forewarned Arjun to carry Shikhandi on his chariot. Shikhandi was a eunuch, and Bhishma had taken a vow many years back that he would never use any of his weapons on a eunuch. He would only fight a man. So when he saw a eunuch in form of Shikhandi standing in front of Arjun, he could not use his weapons. Sri Krishna charged at him and ordered Arjun, "Shoot your arrows. This is your chance. He is your opponent right now." Arjun obeyed because he had accepted Krishna to be his master. He picked up his arrows and shot as many of them. He picked up his bow and shot as many arrows as he could, piercing Bhishma from top to the bottom. The whole body of Bhishma was pierced with arrows, and he fell on the ground and lay on the bed of arrows. Arjun shot 3 arrows in such a way that they became the headrest for Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma Pitama called out for Arjun. When Arjun came, he said, "Son, I love you. You are very brave. I am thirsty." Arjun immediately shot 1 arrow at the ground, and water spurted out in the form of a spring and fell straight into the mouth of Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma Pitama drank the water and quenched his thirst. But he did not die because he had a boon of a death by will meaning he could die when he chose to only. So he lay there on the bed of arrows, watching the war of Mahabharata. What amazing things children know. What amazing things, what amazing powers those people had then. And all those powers are said to have been attained through years and years of meditation and sadhana and practice. These were all supernatural powers, celestial powers, which they had attained. And we also see that how the Pandavas used their powers for the good of the people, but stood like a wall to fight the evil. Duryodhan symbolizes evil, and whatever decisions he took were all evil. And hence, they were losing in the battlefield, on the battlefield. Now the war raged and raged, raged and raged. And with Bhishma Pitama no more able to fight, and seeing him lying there, bleeding and injured on the bed of arrows, Duryodhan was completely shaken up. He knew that he had lost a main person from his army. He was very, very upset. He shouted at all his people, ordering them to march with renewed energy and force to counter the Pandavas. He charged towards Bhim. Duryodhan was sitting on an elephant when he charged towards Bhim with his club. Now, Bhim was ready, though Duryodhan was also a very strong club fighter. But he was no match to even stand in front of Bhim. What did Bhim do? With his club, he injured the elephant. He hit at the elephant and injured it so badly that the elephant could not stand anymore and it fell on the ground. And children, when the elephant fell on the ground, what happened? Duryodhan got disbalanced and the club from his hand flew away. To save himself, he somehow managed not to get killed. He fell on the ground and he fled from the battlefield. He could manage to save his life that day. It was nearing sunset. He ran away. Bhim chased him, but Duryodhan managed to run away and hide and be out of sight of strong Bhim. Bhim could not find him. He kept on looking for him, but kept on killing anybody who came in his way. After that, soon after that, it was sunset and the day's end of play. Duryodhan thanked his stars for being saved that day, but he was fuming with anger. He just did not know what to do, how to get hold of these Pandavas. In the evening, he called all the important people from his army and ordered them, including Guru Dronacharya. He ordered them, I want the Pandavas tomorrow. At least Yudhishthir should be targeted tomorrow. Give me at least one Pandava tomorrow. And after shouting and giving orders, they all dispersed for the day. And so would we too, for the time being. We will start again next week from the 11th day of the Battle of Kurukshetra. I know, children, many of you would be unhappy that why is Ammu stopping the story now? But we are time bound. So I will come again next week with the story to conclude it in that episode. Also, children, have you all seen how horrible war is? It does no good to anyone, just no good. It causes mass destruction, so much loss of life, so much loss of property. People lose their loved ones. They kill each other. We should not kill each other when we don't have the right to give life to anybody. We do not have the right to kill. Agree? If you do, you can write yes. If you don't agree, you can write no. After watching the video in the comment section, I'd love to know what you feel about it. Till then, you know what to do. If you like the video, tell your parents to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you keep getting hearing from Ammu and you. All the posts reach you. And be good, be happy. Ammu loves you and would love to come back to you next week again. Till then, thank you and